Perhaps you've heard of Ivar, the famous Viking of Norway. Well, this is his cousin, Dave. Now, Dave is a fearsome warrior in his own right, but the elders have dubbed him an idiot of the highest order. So this year, when it came to raiding and Ivar decided to make for the shores of England, Dave had another idea.
I think we should sail around it, all the way around and down like a crescent moon to the land I saw in my visions.
Yes, everybody has heard of your desire to fight the Spatula warriors.
Not Spatula, Sparta!
Ah yes, of course, where the proudest warrior Kratos defied Zeus and went to the Hogwarts to seek the Infinity Stone and bumped into a bearded man who said, "Hello, you're a wizard, Anakin."
It is not his story to say one ring from a captain they call Kirk, but that is not important. Just give me a boat and I will go myself to this land and fight these Spartans.
You may go with our blessings.
Thank you, wise elder.
But you're not getting a boat.
Then how will I get to Greece to face my enemies?
You are probably 800 years too late anyway. By the way, did anyone tell you that you do not sound like a Viking? Never trust a man who sounds like...
At least I don't sound like I'm talking through my eyeballs. I don't need your help. I will make my own way to my destiny. You go to your Britain. I will go to Greece and make these Spartans fly.
So Dave hitched a ride to the UK and then swam and swam and swam his way all the way around like the crescent moon, he said, until he passed the Strait of Gibraltar, heading east as if guided by a celestial force. Then he happened across a boat. As he climbed aboard, a plethora of warrior women stood, working, wrestling, but most importantly, ignoring Dave completely. He wondered if this was a dream, but then he remembered that being ignored by women was a normal occurrence of his daily life. So he used this special power to await the passing of any Spartan ships. And it wasn't long before his destiny was revealed to him, because not one, but two drew alongside them. It was time for him to introduce the Spartans to a true Viking.
What is this? I am not a puppet to be dangled from a string. Let me go or send me to Valhalla.
Odin apparently chose Valhalla, but Dave was swiftly kicked out and given back to the earth. So boat hopping is a skill that our simpleton hero had not yet acquired, so he opted for a safer approach. Water first, then climb. Finally, one Viking versus a boat full of Spartans.
Ah, right in my scapula.
Dave's fighting style comes from farming, and with stony soil in Norway, he had to come up with a technique called turning the earth. Turned out to be quite effective. Oh, that one. Yeah, well, that one's called kicking the donkey.
The donkey kicked me first, so shut up, narrator. Who do you think you are, Peter?
I was merely explaining. Anyway, our hero found success in his first battle versus the Spartans, rid the deck of its former crew, and enjoyed his new boat. At least for a moment, until he realised that he had no idea how to sail.
Of course I know how to sail, it's just that the colour is not to my liking. And why is it that I have Shrek for a narrator anyway?
Yeah, big man, is that better for you? You want how we actually talk in Glasgow, eh? I was just trying to make it a little bit better for the movies and that, but you want me to talk like this, is right? Is that what you want?
No, it's okay, I prefer when I can understand what you say.
Swallowing his pride, Dave hopped back across to the women who actually knew what they were doing and hoped that they would lead him to more Spartans. The boat docked at many places, but our fair hero never really felt the urge to put feet on dry land. That is, until they approached a place where the sea was red from battle. Dave decided to step ashore and felt that he might find a beautiful death at the hands of a worthy Spartan. So he did the thing that no one in their right mind would do, and that's walk into the shoreline defense camp to pick a fight.
What a lovely drawing. Whoops, I ran over it.
Don't cause any trouble here.
Sorry, my friend, I like how you smell. What happened to the hairs on your chest, eh?
That's enough!
How did you put your hand through my body? Do that again. I think we should fight. You want to fight? I like to fight. You want to fight?
I'm not getting you out of my sight!
I saw your mother over there. Her face is in the trough.
As it would happen, the camp was moderately defended. Dave's dreamy moment of a beautiful death looked like it was about to become a foolish waste of Viking resources. But then he remembered about a famous warrior called Jean-Claude Van Damme, who fought 100 enemies, one at a time. So he set about putting that plan to work. At this point, a normal man would be skewered like a boar, but Dave learned magic from a demon sorcerer to shrug off such wounds and set about picking off his enemies. By the time it was over, Dave conceded that he had in fact cheesed his way to victory and trudged out of the Spartan camp in quiet contemplation over what he had done. He decided to pay a visit to the Athenians to ask them if he could join in a great battle versus the Spartans. But as he was on his travels, he noticed a hungry bear in a dispute over who owned the fish cooking over the campfire. Dave was rather fond of bears and less fond of people, so he came to the aid of his new furry friend. But it turned out that this bear wasn't exactly grateful. But they talked it out and eventually became friends.
Join my hunt.
The bear introduced himself as Bob, and he explained that hunters had been chasing him across the land to the point where he didn't know how to get back to his home, and more importantly, his wife, Linda. Dave was happy to undertake this quest, and they wandered the lands until Bob finally picked up the scent to the cozy burrow in the hills, and he longed to gaze upon the snowy white vision of his beloved partner. And as they reached the cave, Bob realised that she had in fact been shacked up with her new boyfriend, Dennis. Bob didn't like this. He didn't like this one bit. But it didn't matter. The rival clawed Dave's new friend to death. And whilst it was only fitting to get a fiery revenge, Linda was now without a man in her life.
Bob, may the eternal spirit rest your soul, and I want you to know this is nothing personal, but I think Linda will be safer with me.
Come, my fierce friend.
So she took a liking to Dave. I mean, she really liked him.
Okay, that's nice. Linda, stop it. Linda, stop trying to sniff me. Don't sniff my butt. Linda! Linda, get away from me. I'm going to be honest, you are creeping me out now.
What was a game to her was a man running away for dear life. And at one point, Dave was innocently standing, contemplating— Oh my God! That's what happens when a bear tries to smell you from the inside, apparently. Anyway, moving on. The bargain with the Athenians was struck, and Linda was determined to protect her mate. As it would happen, she was a fearsome warrior in her own right, but Dave was becoming jealous of her prowess in battle and started stealing the final blows.
Linda, you big yeti, will you save some for me, please?
By the time the battle was over, he made a run for it and decided that he didn't like bears as much as he thought after all. The Spartans, on the other hand, decided that if they couldn't dispatch Dave themselves, they would hire him instead to eliminate the deserters of the army. And this was a very amenable prospect. Kick Spartans, get paid. He found the cowards, set their camp on fire, kicked them, A job well done. Life was good. That is, until Bob returned from the dead for revenge.
Look at your toenails, they are disgusting! Let me Oh no, what? Ah!